Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Noelle and I do unboxings here, mostly lifestyle subscription boxes, but also some stationery, books, beauty, jewelry, and even a dash of Disney. So if you like unboxings, I do hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel and hitting that notification bell. Today I have a very favorite book subscription box. It is Once Upon a Book Club. It comes in this adorable box that is shaped like a book. So you can see the side, it's like it's bound on one side and then that opens in the front where the pages are. This is the pink one, which is the adult box. They also have a young adult box that comes in a green book box. And this is for March. Now I know that it is April, but they did have some shipping delays with some of the gifts that were inside. So I wanted to go ahead and share this book and the gifts with you. So if you got the March box and you still want to be surprised, you haven't gotten through it yet, stop watching now. Otherwise, this is a really great example of the great books that they select for us to read, as well as the quality of the gifts. This is one of my favorite collections of gifts that I've ever received in this subscription. This subscription is $34.99 per month. You can get a little discount, of course, if you subscribe for a little bit longer. There is a shipping cost. I think it's $9.50 per month, so definitely use a coupon code. I have a couple options for you below. You can get 10% off using mauinoel 10. You can also get $5 off if you use the link that's below. Just do whatever is easier or what makes most sense for you guys. Let's get into it. So this book was so good, you guys. I was able to plow through it in a single day, which is saying a lot for me just because sometimes I get distracted either watching YouTube or doing my other work, because I am able to do some of my work from home. But I was so captivated by this book, and it is this author's first novel, so I'm so excited to see what else she comes up with. So you open it, and then again inside there's all kinds of things. Now I have taken the gifts out. This time, this month, there was a gift that was actually so large that it did not fit into that book box, so everything came in an even bigger mailer. So the book that we had for this month is Wild Land. So great cover, very kind of mysterious, and it was by Rebecca Hodge. And I really liked it this month. We actually got a nice letter from Rebecca as well, telling us a little bit more about the novel and why it was selected and why it means so much. Like I said, this was a fantastic book. So let me just read the little blurb for you in the back. When Kat Jameson retreats to the Blue Ridge Mountains, she's counting on peace and solitude to help her make a difficult decision. Her breast cancer has returned, but after the death of her husband, her will to fight is dampened. Now she has a choice to make: face yet another round of chemotherapy or surrender gracefully. Self-reflection quickly proves impossible as her getaway is complicated by a pair of abandoned dogs and two friendly children staying nearby, Lily and Nirav. In no time at all, Kat's quiet seclusion is invaded by the happy confusion of children and pets. But when lightning ignites a deadly wildfire, Kat's cabin is cut off from the rest of the camp, separating Lily and Nirav from their parents. Left with no choice, Kat, the children, and the dogs must flee on foot through the drought-stricken forest, away from the ravenous flames. As a frantic rescue mission is launched below the fire line, Kat drives the party deeper into the mountains, determined to save 4 innocent lives. But when the moment comes to save her own, Kat will have to decide just how hard she's willing to fight to survive and what's worth living for. A heart-pounding novel of bravery, sacrifice, and self-discovery, Wildland will keep you on the edge of your seat to the very last page. And it absolutely did. Like I said, you guys, this is a great book. So even if you missed out on this March box, I highly suggest getting this book. It was like a first edition, I think, so I did find like 1 or 2 typos in it, but they weren't anything that like sort of caught me and pulled me out of the novel. So if you haven't seen Once Upon a Book Club, what's really cool is as you read through it, they just have these nice little sticky notes that tell you that it's time to open one of your gifts. And they do a really great job with all of the packaging as well. So, for example, there is a little box that's got our first gift, and then you would just open it up. So all the gifts come in different shapes and sizes. Like I said, one of the gifts was so big it didn't fit in the box, so it just kind of came in a plastic mailer. But before we get into the gifts, I want to show you some of the other features that Once Upon a Book Club always has. They always have a nice quote card, and this time it is a quote by Shakespeare. It is "The best safety lies in fear." So let me just show that to you. They're always very artistic. They're always great quotes. They're directly from the novel, and this comes from the fact that Kat, our main character, is a teacher, and she often finds herself quoting Shakespeare out loud. So this is really definitely works with the book, and it is a really pretty one, and it's kind of a nice practice to go ahead and put that card up while you're reading, or just kind of save them, which is what I've been doing. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do with all the quote cards, but I know that there are some avid readers, some Once Upon a Book people who have done this for years, and they have all of them saved and collected and even displayed in their homes. So I do think that's kind of a cool idea. I did want to say there has been a huge shipping delay, but Once Upon a Book Club has been really great about keeping their members very much informed. In fact, knowing that they were going to be having such a big delay, they included an extra little gift, which was so adorable. So it looks just like the box, and it's a little notepad. So it's got this magnetic closure, and you open it up, and it just says inside, "Forgive the delay," and then it's just loose sheets of paper, so just like little notes that you can write. It's not even sticky notes, but I just did think that that was a really, really nice touch, something that they didn't have to do, but a very sweet thing to do because of the delay. And I'm already really looking forward to my April box, and it sounds like the April boxes are pretty much going to be on time, hopefully, fingers crossed. All right, so they also include in the books, in the boxes, a little pamphlet that tells you all kinds of things. So it really does work like a book club. They have different days where they'll be doing different discussions. There's usually questions in the back of the book. That's right, it's actually an edition that was made for Once Upon a Book Club, so there are some reading and discussion questions in the back. It looks like right now it says that they're doing some Instagram and Facebook stuff on April 23rd, but that might have gotten pushed off since there was such a big delay, because that would be, I think, today or tomorrow. So we'll see. I haven't ever participated in any of those discussions. I definitely jump into the Facebook group and kind of like voice my opinions about the gifts and the books, but I haven't actually done any of the interactions with the authors. But this, like I said, was a great book, and I would love to, if I have the time in my day, to make that happen. All right, so going back, I got a little sidetracked, which you guys know I get sidetracked pretty easily. So let's just talk about the gifts. There were only 3 this time, which I'm really okay with that. Sometimes you get like 3 to 5, but in the past when you've gotten more than 3, one of them is usually like a paper gift where they've actually like printed the letter out that was in the book, which to me just seems like extra because you already have the letter printed in the book. So having another sheet of paper that I either need to recycle or feel bad about throwing away just doesn't seem to count. So I would rather have fewer items of greater value and quality. So we'll talk about that as we go through. So I'm going to read little excerpts so that you understand the gifts, but I will do my best not to ruin the book for you. Most of the time, just the little paragraph isn't going to ruin the plot of the novel for you at all. So let's just see. Scott picked up the tangle of bracelets he had rescued from his cottage and held them for a long moment. He started to say something, stopped. Malcolm expected some sort of complaint, but when he looked more closely, Scott seemed calmer. The touch of the bracelets, perhaps a reminder of how much was at stake. I keep picturing Lily, frightened, trapped without me. He was shaking, but this time he looked at Malcolm in the eye. A helicopter. Thank you. I wouldn't have known how. I wouldn't have known how. So, obviously, as you kind of get to those moments, you kind of guess what it is, and indeed it is some bracelets. So here's the little box that I showed you already. It has the page written on it, and then inside we got a little cluster of bracelets. I just really admire the extra lengths they go to really make it for each book. So you can kind of see that card in the background has like mountains, and it says Lily's Bangles. Now, I'm not a bangle person, and honestly, let me know what you guys think if you read this book. There is another jewelry item in this novel that plays a pretty big role, and I think I would have liked an approximation of that jewelry piece versus these bangles that are worn in the book by like a preteen, just because they kind of feel like preteen jewelry. But it is 4 bracelets, so I'll show them all to you. They're kind of in silver, and I have to say I did really appreciate, I think this one was actually supposed to be connected to the one with the chain, because I'm just seeing this little link back here by my thumb. So it's kind of a rosy, glittery little stone. I'm trying to get that to focus. I don't know if you can see, but there is some glitter in those light pink stones, and it's kind of adjustable. So there is like this little like ring that's sliding back and forth, which makes me think it was maybe supposed to be attached to the chain bracelet. But of course, these are really nice because they fit easily. right? And then chain one that I thought maybe is now supposed to be attached because I'm seeing that little link that's sliding back and forth is just like this. And it does have a little arrow on it. So let me see if I can get that to show. Now that arrow kind of rolls around when you try to wear it on your wrist. So it's not like, it looks more like a bar bracelet than it does like an arrow. But I do appreciate these are very small. So they are very much like what might be worn by a preteen, and they fit my wrists perfectly. And then there's this other one. This is really cool. I do like this a lot actually. So it's very simple. It's just a knot cuff, and you can see one of those lines is more textured and the other one is more smooth. So I do think that's pretty, and I can see myself using that. So these two are really fun. This pink one is a little bit big, but I guess if I did have it connected to that chain, and I don't think I'm going to be able to reattach it, so it's just going to have to be separate, then it would probably stay on a little bit better. And then there is a fourth one. Now this is not my favorite one, this one with the rhinestones and the like little hook, but I will say that it is my favorite in terms of size, because this one is actually really small and it fits my wrist pretty well. So I'll throw that over on Instagram in a day or two after I've given everybody like spoiler alerts, but I'll show you this one actually fits my wrist really nicely and doesn't slide up and down, so I appreciate that. And like as a whole, they look pretty good. I'm not going to put the chain one on for you because I don't have my little like bracelet assister, so it would be kind of hard for me to put it on by myself. But nice little collection. Like I said, I do think there was a better choice for jewelry, but one that was probably a little bit harder to execute. All right, so let's keep going. There, like I said, were 3 gifts this time, and then the next one was coming up on page 169. So that came in this kind of burlap bag, and I thought it was funny. They had to adjust and put a different page number on. Now the reason I don't have that item in the bag was because it was really crushed in there, but it does tell me that it's able to be crushed and to come back to life. But I did kind of lay this item out so that it wasn't all crumpled when I showed it to you guys. So let's just take a quick look at the quote that is, or the excerpt that was leading us to this second gift. Malcolm found it, a tiny fleck of red among the brown, about 2/3 of the way across the swath of tumbled rock. Pete handed the binoculars back and Scott seized them. He fumbled with the focus knob, taking so long to adjust it that Malcolm was ready to rip them from his hands. Finally, he nodded. Red, with white flowers. It's Kat's hat. All right, so this is where they kind of took some liberties, but I appreciate it. We got this awesome sun hat, you guys. So that was crushed into that tiny little bag. It doesn't have white flowers, but it has some white script, which I thought was really cute, and it just says, shh, I'm reading. I like the black band, the little ribbon. It even has like an elastic chin strap, which I'm probably just gonna tuck up underneath, but I thought this was really cute. I have a few fun sun hats. I have been reading out on the deck when I have the opportunity to, but I just thought this was a great little piece to have in, actually it's a pretty big piece to have in a box, but now I have the elastic sticking out. But how cute is that, you guys? And you can just be out in the sun and reading. Now it does have a little bit more meaning in the novel, of course, because they are searching for them, and this red hat stands out, but red is one of my favorite colors. So I thought this was a great item, and I loved, like I said, that they did take some liberties. This is definitely more of a beachy sun hat than I think the one that was described in the novel, but I'm happy with this because it's something that I can actually use, right? Because sometimes when they get so accurate with the item in the book, it doesn't really translate to real life and using it in the wild, so to speak. All right, let's go on to the third and final and most impressive in my mind gift that I've ever received from Once Upon a Book Club. And that was on page 262. Here's the little sticky. And then it just says, Malcolm swallowed his irritation. Scott needed to stay focused. He shouldn't go herring off after nothing. He bit back the comment that rose to his lips. Scott was the one down there. He was the one with eyes on. Wait, let me get it. It's canvas. A pause. It's part of Kat's bag. The energy in Scott's voice came through clearly. Are you sure? Malcolm remembered the bag, some sort of school name on its side with an eagle logo. Kat had been there. She and the children must have made it to the pond. All right, so if you have guessed, you probably have, we got an awesome backpack. So this was the item that didn't fit in the box. It came in this big mailer inside the even bigger mailer, and it still does have page 262 written on it. And then inside, this bag was actually in another plastic bag, but it was such a tight fit that I didn't go ahead and shove it back in there. You guys, this is so cool. This is an awesome backpack, and I love that it doesn't have the eagle on it like they said. It does have her school emblem, but what's so cool about this, you guys, is it doesn't have a school emblem that I have to keep on there. It's actually just a sticker that comes right off, so now it's just this beautiful backpack. It's kind of like a Herschel backpack. It does have this like faux leather thing that does say Once Upon a Book Club, but it's very subtle, and so it doesn't feel like, you know, I'm like promoting just a book or like some story that other people wouldn't be familiar with. So these faux buckle details, there are some magnetic snaps. It's got nice padded back here, like it's a really sturdy backpack. It's so nice, you guys. And then over on the side, there's some pockets on both sides where you could probably stick some stuff in. You open it up and we've got this nice little front pocket. I love that it's got the gold details. This front pocket here is also padded so that you could put your laptop inside. And then this is such a good book bag. So you can see it's very like, it's not super deep. It's definitely more of a book bag. And then inside, you guys, here's what's cool too. We've got this back compartment, again, for possibly a laptop or just to kind of keep things organized. And then I did show you this little like plug here on the side. It actually comes with a little pocket, and in that pocket they actually included a USB cord. So let me see if I can pull it out. And so it's a double-ended USB cord. So what you can do, this side is kind of more weatherproofed, and it actually sticks right into this little plug. So you could have something tucked into this pocket and charging. And then that pocket that's right here on the inside, so you can't really see it, but right along the inside is a narrow little pocket where you can stick that cord. If you feel it, it's very much like weatherproofed. It feels like a dry bag. So it's keeping your electronics and your cords and everything protected. So you just have this nice encasing to protect it from the rain and the elements. So it is very much a nice outdoorsy bag that you could use. And I thought the color was lovely. It's kind of this like sage green, if you guys can't tell, but I mean, this bag feels really, really nice, and I thought that was awesome. The bag itself, I feel like, would be $35, which was the cost of the entire box with the book and the other gifts. So let me know what you guys think about this book subscription. Like I said, this is probably one of my favorite months, not only with the book, but also with the gifts that were included. Super happy with it, super excited to see what the April box is. And let me know if you've been getting Once Upon a Book Club for a while, what your favorite gift is. I still see in the Facebook group every once in a while people are like, hey, does anybody have like March from 2019, just because they've done such a good job with their curation. Now, just a quick segue, I did also get their Once Upon a Book Club blind date with a book, and they had a special edition which was for getting us to practice some random acts of kindness. So the idea was this book was a little bit of a mystery. They kind of let you choose from some different genres, and I picked one that was the historical fiction, a mystery from the 1950s, and that's pretty much all you got to know. But the book that I got was so good, you guys. It is called Nothing is Forgotten. It's like a Cold War thriller. Again, it's a book that I read super duper fast. I did love that they gave us some suggestions for the random acts of kindness, and the blind date with a book came with this cute little key, which is also a bottle opener. So just a fun little thing that I did with them in, I guess that was in March? No, that was in February. I think I did that in February, but I did just want to share that book title with you. It was so good. Nothing is Forgotten by Peter Golden. I will put those over on my Instagram as well. Let me know what your favorite genre of books is below, and if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and hopefully I'll see you very soon in my next unboxing. Have a great day.